Noel Tata is pipped to take over the Tata Trusts. Does it make any difference to the way Tata companies are run? Is unlikely. Neeraj Aggarwal also joining in. He's Senior Vice President, Vistara, India. Neeraj, hi, great to chat with you again. But, you know, just to understand, now that it's official, Noel Tata is going to take over. Let's just recap what this means for the Tata Group going forward. Neeraj, can you hear me? Yeah, there. Yes, please.
In my limited understanding, practically nothing changes. So technically speaking, the trusts hold 66%.
Just be having a little bit of an issue with Neeraj's line. Neeraj, if you can still hear me, you were making the point that the Tata Trusts own about 65% in Tata Sons. Okay, we seem to be having just a tad bit of an issue with the line. But Tamanna, before you joined us in the studio, we were talking about the nitty-gritties of what happens, right? And the relationship, and that is also what Gopal was weighing in on in terms of how the interaction between Tata Trusts and Tata Sons would take place. Sajid was explaining the amendment that took place 2 years back that ensured the separation between Tata Sons and Tata Trusts. Yeah. Let's talk about the numbers as well, because ultimately the philanthropic responsibilities are with Tata Trusts. What is the amount of money that we're talking about that they handle? And also they handle the CSR responsibilities of the group, right?
True. No, I'm just looking at the annual report of one of the Tata Trusts, which is there. In FY 22-23, they made they had institutional program grants of nearly 397 crores, and there was small. So the total amount that was made by them was around 456 odd crores, which was there, and of that 23% or 24% went into healthcare. Okay. Which basically means building hospitals, you know, and they're very big. Kolkata Cancer Hospital was a classic example because it came into being at that point in time. So that's what a bigger thing. And then rural upliftment was the next one where they invested a lot into that.
We'll revisit that in just a bit. Neeraj Aggarwal back on the phone line with us. Neeraj, you were making a point. You don't think much will change. You were talking about the ownership of 65% in Tata Sons. Yeah.
So 66% is held by trust, 1% is held by Mr. Noel Tata. So technically speaking, and as a chairman trustee of the trust, he will look at the objectives of the trust, which means whatever dividends that will come in, how it will be used for the benefit of the society. And he apparently has a very good equation with the chairman of Tata Sons, which means collectively both of them, or again, the discussions will be very, very smooth, cohesive, and Tata Sons will primarily govern how the businesses will grow and how to work in the interest of the shareholders, and the largest shareholder being trust being represented by Noel Tata. So I think nothing is changing, and we will see the next phase of growth under the new scheme of things.
Okay, Sanjay Ashar also joining in. He's a senior partner at Crawford, Bayley. Sanjay, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Put into perspective the significance of what we have seen. I mean, it was expected at some point that there would be a change of guard at Tata Trusts. Noel Tata has now taken over. What does this change for the Tata Group, if anything?
No, nothing. It is only solidifying itself. And with Noel Tata coming in, and he has done a marvelous job at Voltas, at Trent, at Titan, etc. And so therefore, I think it's a very good step in the right direction for the Tata Group as a whole. A family man who understands the philosophy well, as also who is matured enough in order to take Tata Group to the next level. So to my mind, yes, it's an excellent decision for the Tata Group.
Sanjay, you know, he's going to head the entire philanthropic, initiatives of the Tata Trust. He takes over from Ratan Tata as we speak. How do you see do you see the way the philanthropy will be undertaken under his leadership? Everyone has a different way of taking forward. Mr. Tata had another way, one way of doing it. Do you see some kind of changes that he undertakes so that it can be much more effective in nature and continues the Tata legacy of giving back to the society?
Correct. So my view is that he will surely take the Tata Group legacy forward. Number two, he will only solidify the values which are already there to giving back the society, which is the philosophy of the Tata Group. Number three, in a way, tacitly, he has seen as to how Mr. Ratan Tata has done this in the last 25, 30 years. And under his guidance, he, in that sense, tacitly has been trained in order to see that the values are taken forward. So to my mind, yes, it's a step in the right direction, and he will surely continue with the legacy and see to it that, and he will solidify it further.
I'm also curious about what happens with his chairmanship of Trent. Neeraj, do you want to come in on that? Because he has certain responsibilities with Tata companies existing. Does that change at all?
No, because these are fiduciary responsibilities, so really nothing changing. And I think we have seen in the past where the chairman of the trust was also heading certain businesses. So it's business as usual, really nothing worth really looking at it. And it's completely fiduciary responsibility versus a professional responsibility.
All right. Thank you so much, Sanjay. Thank you so much, Neeraj, for joining us today and putting that into perspective. Definitely a big day. And Sajid, interested to know how you are looking at it, because you've tracked this group so closely for so many years. And Noel Tata, I think, has come into the limelight also because of Trent and the success of Trent. But now this is a completely different role in which we will be seeing Noel Tata. Perhaps not so much in the public at all, because that's clearly not what he prefers.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be in public. The only way you can see him is that if you're a shareholder and you go to an AGM, you will find him there.
I'm curious, has he ever done a television interview?
He hasn't done any interviews, to my understanding, and whenever we approach to him, he's willing to talk, chat, but he will not come on camera there. But the interesting part, which there are two things which we need to very clearly segregate here. One, he taking charge as chairman of Tata Trust has no bearing on how Tata Sons is run and how Tata companies are run. This transition was done 2 years back when Tata Sons amended its article of association, which ensured that the chairman of Tata Sons will not be holding the position of Tata chairman of Tata Trust. So there was a clear demarcation, and in this resolution, because Tata Sons held 66% in Tata Trust held 66% Tata Sons, it was voted by Tata Trust. In that sense, so it is cast in stone. So there is no interference which is coming. So there are clear governance boundaries which are there in place. The second part is about Tata Trust, how it functions. It continues to function as an umbrella organization, taking together 14 trusts which have been created at various point in time by various Tata family members there, and it holds 66%. They get grants, and these grants are disbursed to various segments or sectors based on the demand that they have, and for that they have an executive committee which will now be chaired by Noel Tata, and there will be other members, and they have a professional body of people who are managing day-to-day affairs of how funds are used or are deployed for various charity work going forward there. Noel Tata being chairman of some of the group companies has no bearing on what Tata Trust is going to do, because their charter is very clear, and the charters of these individual companies are very clear that they have to serve the stakeholders of those respective companies. And we've seen how Trent has turned around in the last few years. Noel, as a business man, has a very good hold on supply chain, because as part he was MD of Tata International, which was into this, and taking all the Tata things globally to various countries. So he has that good understanding, and he has mapped that very well into Trent, and that's what we are seeing Trent now doing it. So the caliber is totally, both the calibers are different, and the way they have to approach both, whether it's trust activities or companies, are totally different.
The latest Tata company to form a part of the Nifty 50, and what a journey it has been.